Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Mulligan. So it's about a guy who seems to have it all, but his life starts to fall apart, and then he's guided by the wisdom and advice of an old golf pro, and learns to play a good game again. So I know it sounds terrible. It sounds terrible the way I say it, not the movie. Sorry to say it that way. 5.1 on IMDb, but only 209 people rated it so far. Eric Close plays Paul McAllister. Eric Close is from Nashville. I shouldn't say he's from the TV show. He was on the TV show Nashville, so I recognize him. Jason Berkeley is in it. Wow, that's cool. And Jason Berkeley is from some faith-based movies. So I don't know this, but I think it is a faith-based movie about golf, which I'm kind of excited about. Now it might not be. I don't know. I'm trying to find something that says that's what it is, but it's an hour and 50 minutes long on Amazon Prime. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. Let me get into it. Let me find out what it's about. Give you a better idea. Let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. I want to do a quick check-in. We're watching The Mulligan. We're at the 54-minute 10-second mark. Under halfway, 56 minutes left. It is faith-based, but it's not. You can see the hint of it's not heavy. So I always like to give people. I feel like I have to apologize for saying what the movie's about, but some people might not be into it. Some people are into it a little bit. Whatever. Anyway, Eric Close, Paul McAllister. He is a big. All these movies with these people who owns these big corporations and has got the world that they're in the palm of their hand anyway, but not his family, right? So he's got everything he needs with this company, but he is 5 years separated from his wife and son. Son's like a young adult. He's a BMX biker and stuff like that. He is a big time corporate man who plays in a pro-am, plays terribly, embarrasses himself, and meets, the old pro, as they call him, and who's full of wisdom and trying to not help him with his game, but really help him with his life. And the Mulligan is, this is what it's called, about what you could do over again. That's what Mulligans are about. And so it's more about like life lessons. And then the wife has like a prayer group. She calls it a small group, but they obviously pray together and stuff like that. But it's not, so they have that going on, but it's not like heavily influential so far. Now you can see there are times where he calls out the old question that I think a lot of people have about God is, hey, how can you do bad things? Or how can you let bad things happen to good people, especially young people and stuff like that? So there's a situation like that, not a visible, but whatever. So it's in here anyway. But it's about golf, and it's fun because I like golf and I'm lousy at it, and I like these kinds of movies. Really, it's got me drawn into it. A lot of movies, I'll go back to Babylon, which has like Brad Pitt in it, who I'd love to hang out with Brad Pitt more than Paul McAllister here. Eric Close I'd probably hang out with, but anyway. But this one has me drawn into it. I'm really interested in what's going on. Maybe it's just the flavor of the night, but that's what it's all about so far. And some tragedy. Minor tragedy, not like his son. I'll just say it, his son gets hurt, and so he's got to come back right now and meet with his wife again. Meanwhile, while he's trying to get his mental health back together with the old pro, and his golf game. So, all right, there we go. I feel like I was all over the place, but I feel like I said a lot, and I'm gonna get back to the movie here. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Mulligan, and I start off with, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Now, as I mentioned in the first half of the movie, it wasn't heavily faith-based, but it does. It gets there, right? And I have no issue with it, so fair warning to those of you who may not be into it or might be slightly into it, and but it all comes down to that, and that's kind of what I thought I was getting into, and that's why I watched it. It's not without its sad points. Most of these types of films, they have some sort of emotional part that you have to get over in order to find God, all that kind of stuff. Now, it's not the major tragedy isn't in there. There are some sad pieces here and there, and I just like to make everybody aware of that. But it's not like as bad as some of the other ones. And when I say bad, like as tragic, I guess it is. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, and you'll see it right from the beginning. There, you can see the green screen kind of, background stuff. The right in the beginning, the superimposed picture of Paul McAllister with his family, and at first I thought it was done like, so he's talking about he's a family man and he runs this big company and all this kind of stuff, and we find out he's not really, because he's separated. And there's this picture that he shows, and the picture that he shows, it looks like he's cropped in, and I was like, oh, okay, they just cropped him in for like the film, like you know what I mean, like not like they just did that because he wasn't really there and he's trying to be a family. No, but that was really a picture of him in the actual storefront where he started his business. But when you look at it like the second and third time, because it's throughout the film a couple times, it's like, oh, it's just really poorly done. So there's things like that, right? So don't go into it with the critical eye of all of that. The point of the movie isn't for the aesthetics, it's more of the point, I think, in my mind. And so that didn't take anything away from me, but I would like to warn people of that. When I go into this, I don't want people thinking, oh my goodness, this is the greatest film ever, according to Kimmel's Irish Pub, and you can see all this stuff, whatever, and there's anything. But for me, yeah, sports, faith-based movies are, I enjoy them a lot. Golf, whew, you know what I mean? And then they do a great job of relating golf to God and faith and all that kind of stuff. And like, so, I think it's a good movie to, if you're into this kind of thing, make you think. Now, again, I don't like how they make all these rich guys who, have these big companies and everything like that, and then they, fall away from God, but then they find God and everything's even better. It's like, well, have us, us poor people, like do a movie about that, but I'm just kidding right now. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. I was in between a lot of different movies, and I picked this one, and I'm glad I did. So check it out. Again, if this is your jam, it's definitely worth the watch. And that's it. Hopefully everybody enjoys it as much as I did. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.